see. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for me. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
No, fuck that shit.
Yo, good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing? Be still. I haven't checked my email yet, love. I'm sorry. I haven't been in there yet. I've been busy this morning, but I'll get in there after we get done with this. How's everybody doing? What do you guys think of all this craziness that's came out about the Rudy Farias or Farias? What do you guys think about that? Like, what's going on? Yeah, this story's crazy to me. I am just like, what the hell? So the press conference will start in like 8 minutes. We're gonna watch it. The Houston Police Department. I've been waiting for them to say something all damn day or all night, I guess. Well, okay. So hold on. I haven't heard about this case till you're live. Oh, really? Okay. Well, yeah, I was gonna say we just. Okay, so apparently he's been missing for 8 years, and he went missing. I believe 2015 is what they said, but supposedly he's never been missing at all. Now, last night they had the crime scene investigating people out there, checking things out. I'm not sure what they've been out there for, but they've been out there. They were out there all night long. And these are screenshots I got or whatever. So then here's mom. And they say this is Janie, that she's the one that's been holding him, supposedly, allegedly holding him hostage. I'm not sure what parts are true and what parts are not. It's so hard to tell. But here's another picture of her as well. And then they said, here's pictures of all her profiles, of all the different profiles she's been using. The one down here is with her, with the arrow is with her and her husband when they were married. But a lot of these profile pictures are different profile pictures she's been using. And then the list over here to the right is basically all the alts that she's got. So she's been using a lot of alt accounts and making up Facebook accounts. She's been doing like some catfish, times 100. Here's the StreamYard link. I forgot to pin it. I'm sorry. Let me go pin that now. Because of course, anybody is welcome up on panel. It's an open panel for those of you who are new here. We do open panels. You need to pause your YouTube and then click the StreamYard link, and it will bring you on panel. You need to change your name so it's not your first and last name, because there is a lot of doxing that goes on in here on this platform. So please, before you come up here, make sure you pause your YouTube and change your name when you come in. Because sometimes when you click the StreamYard link, it takes you to StreamYard and brings up your Google account name. So if you have your Google account in Susie Jones and that's your, first and last name, that's what's going to come up on my side. I'm going to be able to see it says Susie Jones. So make sure that you guys, not all channels are like this. Not all channels will tell you your information comes up. So just make sure you guys are being, doing your due diligence on here and staying safe. Let's get this conference pulled up so we have it ready to go. They got about the same amount of people in there waiting. So I guess we will see. There's a lot of people who said they didn't even know about this case. They didn't know anything about it. I'm like, really? Well, the neighbor, she's had a lot to say. So here, I uploaded a video too. We'll go watch it real quick. She was out there last night. Here, we'll play this real quick. Okay, so yeah, she's been on all the news channels. She's been like out here talking, but she said something that, kind of caught me off guard. In the middle of her ranting, she said, this woman lied on me and said that I shared or that I sold drugs or something like that. And she goes, and she's going to lie on me, then I'm going to lie, or I'm going to say that I'm going to say something on her. I don't know. We'll catch it. We'll play it right now.
I was on channel 13 yesterday. I'll be on Fox 26, channel 2, News 11. I've been out here talking to these news people because I'm the one who discovered that 25-year-old boy that they say had been missing for 8 years. He really wasn't missing. His mama was holding him captive in her house. This boy was coming into my garage every day when he would so-called get off of work with his mother because she made him go to work with her. That's how deep this shit is. She made him go to work with her to make him not talk to nobody because she kept him captive for 8 years. He was supposed to went missing at 17, and he wasn't even really missing. She had him in the house hiding him and made him go by his nickname, which was Dolph. His real name is Rudy, but it's he was. I'm talking about. She had this poor child. This baby head is so fucked up right now. Like he's so fucked up. I've been talking to these news people day and night about what y'all see these news people out here. These all the news trucks right here. This is his house. Like this woman had folks thinking this man had been missing for 8 years, and she was sexually molesting her own son. Like how fucking sick you can be. Like there's some crazy motherfuckers out here in the world. The reason why the baby's so messed up like he is, because she was feeding him drugs, hallucination drugs. This shit is crazy. Like y'all see this? News people, she gotta fix her hair. This one was good. I didn't participate per se. I was just questioned by the news people of him coming to my house that day. He used to hang in my garage. He'd have been in my house. Like this shit crazy.
Hey, Stitching, Bitching, and True Crime. I see you up here, love.
Hey, girl. This case
How
was
are you,
crazy.
Isn't it? I'm like, oh my God.
Well,
Just so many twists, so many turns. And the press conference will be on in like 1 minute. So we'll come back to her stuff.
Well, you know, when I first happened, okay, you know what? There is still hope out there for some of these missing babies. You know, and now I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. That's for sure. Especially with things like this going on, you know?
Well, see, the sad thing is I live in Oklahoma, so it puts me pretty close to this one. I was like, ugh. It's crazy. I was listening to it. I've been following, is it Rabbit?
Yeah, Rabbit's been doing a really good job on it too. Yep.
Over it. So
the crime scene people were out there. All these guys, they were all out there last night, all night. They were out there like all night long. So I don't understand why they'd be out there though if there's no crime scene. You know what I'm saying? Why
there has to be something
investigators out there if there's no crime scene?
There has to be something going on. I'll see my friend Art at Fox. He also follows or did something yesterday over it. And he's like, you know, I know there's supposed to be a press conference. Don't know when. He goes, as soon as I find that out, I'll let everybody know. So as soon as you said that, like, got on, you know, there's a press conference coming.
Yep, it's at 11. Well, it should be starting anytime. So
Yeah.
any second now it should be starting. But yeah, a lot of people are wondering why she hasn't been arrested. Why is she not being arrested? Well, first of all, it's going to be they're going to have a hell of a time trying to put charges. Yes, with him lying about him being missing. Yes, but unless there's proof or he's saying this to a detective and the DA picks up the charges, they're not going to arrest her.
No. I mean, that's like, everyone screaming, oh, I'm going to bring up Summer's case about Summer or Dawn and Candace. There's no proof that Dawn and Candace did anything to that baby. That's why they aren't in jail, people.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I mean, I always compare that one to like Letitia. Look at Letitia Stout. You know what I mean? Like, however you pronounce her last name. You know what I mean? They knew she was lying straight from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Kind of. This one kind of reminds me of that too, because it's like everyone knew that there was something going on. Because what's the name? A lady that does all the missing. If she has the website, what's her name? Can't think of her name off the top of my head.
Ben Dreamin, I agree with that. It's always disturbing when folks come with facts and truths only after something goes viral. It's been 8 years.
Uh-huh.
And you didn't see anything wrong. Don't come like you solved the Bermuda Triangle, girl. You just took me out with that truth.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't understand why, nothing was said before this. If if he was supposedly missing and all this was going on, you know what I mean? But then again, like I said, the neighbors, I guess if they didn't know or they were looking for a younger child, because in that picture that they have of him, he looks like a younger kid. He doesn't look like a grown 25, 23-year-old man. You know what I mean? Oh, here we go.
See, they said he was 17.
Here we go.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We're here to discuss the missing person investigation of Rudy Farias. But before I do that, I want to address our dash cam news that's been in the news starting 2 weeks ago. And I'm going to do that really, really quickly. And then I'm going to bring up Lieutenant Zamora from the Missing Persons Unit. Who'll provide some detail on the investigation. And also Commander Garcia will come in and translate for us. So a few weeks ago, there were a report that we only had only 15% of our vehicles were equipped with body-worn camera, with dash cams, I meant to say. That didn't take into account that we don't equip dash cams on investigative vehicles. So let me give you just a quick breakdown on the actual numbers. We have about 3,200 vehicles on our fleet used for various duties. 1,400 of those vehicles are equipped with lights and sirens, our traditional patrol cars. 1,800 of those are investigative vehicles and undercover vehicles. Of that number, of the 1,400, not every marked vehicle is used to conduct traffic stops, investigations, calls for service. Examples: if you have a vehicle that's assigned to public affairs, community affairs, it's a show vehicle. I'm not putting a dash cam on it. If we have vehicles assigned to our training division and we're just training officers how to drive, I'm not putting dash cams on that. So the actual numbers, we have 579 vehicles out of the 1,400 vehicles are equipped with dash cams. The mayor has agreed to devote additional $2 million, and that will outfit an additional 143 vehicles. So we're not at 100%, like I said when I did that interview, but we're definitely moving in that right direction. So I want to thank the mayor again for stepping in with that funding. Last thing I want to say about that, and we'll bring up the lieutenant. During my administration, which has been a little bit over 2 years, we've equipped 355 vehicles. That's probably 60% or so of our fleet right now. So we do believe in transparency, and definitely as the chief of police, I believe in transparency. So anything that we can do to move that in that direction. But I'm going to bring the investigator up, and we'll hold up, Mario. I'm going to bring the investigator up, and we're going to entertain all questions at the end about the dash cams and also this investigation. So we'll entertain everything at the end. Come on.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning. I'm Lieutenant Zamora with the Homicide Division Missing Persons Unit. To my left, I have Detective Sergeant Jimenez, Detective Brian Ford, and Detective Atlanta Claiborne. Today, we're discussing facts related to 25-year-old Rudy Farias, who was reported missing on March 7th, 2015. He was 17 years old when his mother reported him missing. During the 8-year time frame where he was missing, investigators followed up on many tips, leads, collected evidence proving that Rudy was not missing during the 8-year period. Many of these facts included contacts and statements with relatives, friends, neighbors, and medical professionals. Rudy was recently identified as having previous HPD interactions, meaning that he made contact with patrol officers out on the street. However, during these contacts, fictitious names and date of births were given, misleading the officers, and Rudy would remain missing. In fact, both Janie, Rudy's mother, and Rudy himself gave fictitious names while interacting with various patrol officers. After investigators talked with him yesterday, it was discovered that Rudy returned home the following day on March 8th, 2015. The mother, Janie, continued to deceive police by remaining adamant that Rudy was still missing. She alleged her nephew was a person friends and family were seen coming and going. However, we disputed that. Currently, the DA has declined any charges at this time for making fictitious reports and failure to ID. Investigators have reached out to Adult Protective Services. HPD Victim Services has reached out. We've also connected Rudy with Victim Services to ensure that he has a method to recover. Now, based on Rudy's interview, there were no reports of sexual abuse reported. If there is a disclosure made, we will continue to investigate. Currently, the investigation is active, and there are new leads coming in. We'll continue to follow those leads. We do take all allegations seriously, and any new information or facts that we receive will be investigated.
Thank you, Lieutenant. One question at a time, please.
Oh,
Do
no.
not yell them out.
I'm going to let him translate, then we're going to do it.
Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Buenos días y gracias a todos por estar aquí. Antes de hablar sobre el caso involucrando a la persona desaparecida Rudy Farias, vamos a hablar un poquito sobre un asunto que ha aparecido en las noticias, que es referente a las cámaras montadas en el tablero de los vehículos policíacos. Queremos avisarles que de todos los vehículos que tenemos en nuestra flota, no todos necesitan una cámara montada. Muchos vehículos son usados en investigaciones, no hacen paros de detención de tráfico y esos no necesitan cámaras montadas. También si son vehículos que van a ir a asuntos comunitarios, esos vehículos no necesitan cámaras montadas. Lo que sí podemos decirles que de los que sí necesitan cámaras montadas, el 50% de nuestros vehículos tienen esas cámaras y estamos trabajando con el alcalde que nos ha dado $2 millones para ponerle las cámaras al resto de nuestros vehículos. Aproximadamente 143 vehículos van a ser, se les va a agregar esa cámara montada y esperamos acabar con el resto de la flota cuando haya fondos necesarios. Ahora, referente al caso de Rudy Farías, queremos, voy a hablar un poco sobre lo que dijo el teniente de esta investigación. Ah, en el 2015 se reportó a este individuo como una persona desaparecida. En ese momento tenía 17 años de edad. La investigación que han conducido los detectives nos indica de que esta persona en realidad no estaba desaparecida, que hubo contactos con la policía durante estos 8 años. Desafortunadamente, cuando hubo contacto con la policía, este individuo dio otro nombre, un nombre ficticio, y por eso nunca se pudo indicar en nuestros récords, en nuestros archivos, de que esta persona que había sido reportada desaparecida había tenido contacto con la policía. Entonces, van a contestar sus preguntas. En este momento nada más quiero decirles de que cualquier necesidad que tenga Rudy se le va a dar. Si necesita ayuda de nuestras divisiones de asistencia a víctimas, se les va a proporcionar. ¿Okay? No se les ha dado ninguna, el procurador, la oficina del procurador no ha aceptado ningún cargo en este momento. Gracias.
Go ahead, Frank.
We heard from activist Quinell X, and he made some shocking allegations that he was in the room with a detective and he heard from Rudy firsthand. He said that there were sexual abuse allegations and that he was drugged by his mother. From what you just said today, are you saying that the activist was lying?
Basically, what we're saying is our investigation, and we treat it the same. We're going to, our investigators were in the room, and basically, you know, what they heard and what they interviewed, that's what we attest to in our offense reports and our investigations. And I'm not here, neither are they here to question anybody's integrity, but our integrity with the Houston Police Department stands, and we're going to report and put in offense reports what a victim or potential victim tells us. Okay.
But just to be clear, in that room, the detective did not hear anything about sexual abuse allegations. Can you just clear that up?
Yeah, Sergeant Stefan Jimenez. Yes, I interviewed him, and no, there was no, you know, I'm trained to listen for probable cause. I'm trained to listen for statements that can help me get charges or move forward with a case. And no, there was no statements made during this investigation so far. No.
Thank you. Next question. Go ahead, Mario.
Can that be answered in
Wait a
Spanish,
minute.
please?
Go ahead.
I want to get
We get it.
clarification on this, Chief,
Yeah.
because there's a key word there. You said there was no reports of sexual abuse. Is that correct, sir? What you said?
That is correct, coming from
Okay.
Rudy Farias.
Was there any conversations about a sexual relationship between the mother and the son?
So we don't release any type of information related to sexual assaults. That's just state law. I
Okay.
can't comment on that.
Go ahead.
Is Rudy a victim then in all of this, or did he and his mother work together? I mean, he wasn't missing now.
The investigation is still going on, Courtney, and I'm not going to say that he's a victim or not. I'm thinking, you know, and saying we're going to treat this just as we do with any potential victim or victim, and we're going to give respect to everybody that's involved. We're going to conduct our investigation, and we're kind of right at the beginning of it. This investigation is going to go on after this press conference.
What's next? Could we see any charges?
If charges are you know, appropriate, they'll see. But let us conduct the investigation. And what's next, Courtney? Just as any other investigation, we're going to follow our evidence. We're going to do more interviews, and we're going to follow the evidence. And I think that's important. Go ahead.
Chief, can you say, were there any signs of mental illness, that he might be mentally ill, that his mother might be mentally ill?
We're not going to say that right now. Anyway, we're going to conduct the investigation. It's really too early to determine that. There are going to be some more parts to the investigations, and you know, some of that may come into play, but right now.
So just because there were some other allegations that he had been held prisoner, that he had been taken to Mexico, is there any indication that that was true, or was that like a delusion?
Lieutenant.
Because that would have been kidnapping, right, or holding somebody against their will?
We don't have any information to say that there was any kind of kidnapping or anything like that right now.
As-
Have any search warrants been served at the house where he used to be?
So no search warrants.
No, at the time, he was reported missing 8 years ago. Being missing is not a crime. So the detectives had no lawful means or probable cause to issue a search warrant for the residence, which was searched several times.
We're going to work our way down and we'll get back to you. Go ahead. Yes.
On the dash cams, what's the timeline for installation for the new ones?
There's no permanent timeline. As you can imagine, there's a cost to it, and there are some complications. To give you one just quick thing, a challenge. 200 of our vehicles are modeled 2014 are older. That's a challenge. I'm not, when we're up against a financial budget like we are, you got to pick and choose, and you got to prioritize some things. So, but as quickly as funding comes in, we're going to work to get in all of our patrol vehicles and those vehicles that come into contact with the public with dash cams. But I want people to realize one thing: 100% of our officers that's out there on the streets have body-worn cameras on, 100%. And we know for a fact that if you would choose dash cams, I'd love to have both systems, okay, 100%. But once you get out that car, where most things happen in an interaction hand to hand, I want that body-worn camera. But as we get funding in, and as I said, the mayor is stepping up, and like he always does, but he can only do so much. This funding issue didn't start. And I'm going to say this, I stay away from politics, okay? But the citizens in Houston, at some point in time, we're going to have to really face how we're going to properly fund public safety and public servants, okay? Because you need better fire trucks, you need better equipment. We can't keep kicking that can down the street. We're going to have to talk about things of a revenue cap, but we'll leave it to the politicians. Next question. Go ahead.
So I heard you mention that there was no need for a search warrant when he was reported missing years ago, but in between yesterday and the day that he was discovered, was anything searched? Was anybody questioned? Did anybody go by the house?
Rudy and his mother were interviewed yesterday. As far as anyone going to the house, it's still active investigation, and we can't release details pertaining to that.
Going
for quick clarity, was he 17 at the time that he was missing?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So he's 25.
25 now. Yeah. Go ahead, Mario. I'll get you all. Hold up. Go ahead.
Was there a missing persons report filed by his mother at the very beginning?
That was in March 7th, 2015.
So there was a missing persons report that was filed.
Correct.
And so this is what I'm asking on this end. Could the mother be detained for filing a missing persons report and never once informing HPD that he came home?
Yes, she could be reported or detained. That offense is a Class C misdemeanor, which is similar to a traffic citation. Right.
Rudy Farias was found on Thursday. Your investigator spoke to him nearly a week later. Do you think it was a mistake not to speak to him sooner? You said yourself the DA has not accepted charges. That's a week where evidence could be destroyed. What's your response to that?
So it's procedure for the investigation to go through a channel. And when it reaches us, we review it. There was no urgency to investigate a recovered or found person. And I say that because patrol officers made contact with him. They ensured that he was safe. They contacted HFD to make sure that he didn't need medical treatment, and he was cleared on scene by HFD. He refused transportation to the hospital. His mother took him to the hospital later on that evening.
What the lieutenant said, I think, is important. You can't force a potential victim of a missing person, okay, with nothing else to come in and give a statement. So it takes time to try to work with people to get that statement.
And Chief, I know you believe in transparency, and for the public, we're going to put this on the news, and it's going to cause more questions because yesterday we hear from the activist who makes these shocking allegations. And as a reporter who was there, I did see him myself go in and out of the room. So it was clear that he had some sort of communication. What can you say
Transparency
about
doesn't
this?
come in front and maintaining the integrity of the investigation, and that's where my transparency stops. But and I'm gonna, it's the last question I'm gonna ask about the activists or anybody else. You know, we're gonna follow our investigation, and we treat it the same. Everybody has a role in society, and we respect everybody, including our activists. But the integrity of the investigation is number one, and we're gonna maintain that.
Him
Okay?
going inside that room, did that jeopardize the investigation by allowing him?
I don't
inside
think
that
so.
room?
Go ahead.
Do we
Anybody?
know where's Rudy at this moment and his mom?
Yes, we do. Rudy's safe. He is with his mother by choice.
And he's an adult.
Yeah.
He's a 25-year-old man.
Right. Hey, we're gonna get a few more. Mario right here, and then we're gonna work our way down. Probably 4 more. We're gonna wrap.
You used the word a minute ago in describing Rudy as a victim. We know that
I said potential victim, and I want to be respectful on that. Yeah.
he disappeared when he was a young man, teenager. Okay?
17.
17 years old. There's been cases in the past where people have been brainwashed, where people have been told you cannot, and they are being held against their will. For everyone that's going to be watching this worldwide, because this is a worldwide story, how do you not separate him until you guys are able to get everything together, considering that he disappeared as a child?
Mario, you've been in the business for a long time.
I have.
And I'm gonna let you answer that. Okay. We've explained everything, some of the challenges and whatnot. Here's a fact. He's a grown man. 20, listen to what I'm saying. You want me to answer? No, he was an adult, 17. Hold up. Okay. Not confrontational. You know, I respect what everybody does. Okay. But 17 years old, that's an adult in the state of Texas. Okay. A lot of things that we shared up here. So we're going to work our way through it. It takes a little while. There's a lot of development still, even last night. Okay. We know that everything's coming up. We're going to investigate it. The integrity is going to stay in place. We're going to treat him the same as any other person that comes through that we're conducting an investigation on. I'm done with that part.
You
Go
said
ahead, Courtney.
Detective, this might be a better question for the
Go ahead.
detective. I don't know.
Okay. Anybody?
What's the reason then? What can you tell us about why Rudy and his mother then allegedly lied for 8 years and said he was missing when he clearly wasn't?
I can answer that though. I mean,
Yeah, what's the
we
reason?
can't predict motivation or whatnot. We can just try.
They
Yeah.
offered during
Right.
their interview
Yeah.
that they said, why go on living this life?
But you know, during the interview and the particulars of it, it's active investigation.
Queen, did you mute?
I was going to ask what went on.
Yeah.
I thought it was my end.
Mm-mm. No, Queen's not talking.
Yeah, I noticed.
Some resources. Absolutely. Yes.
You said that with the dashboard cameras, the age of some of the vehicles presents a challenge to installation. Is that what you meant?
No, you're prioritizing. Okay. We're in a budget that there are challenges. Okay. And what I presented, and we'll side note this, okay, because it takes a little while to explain it. When you have challenges, people look at a $1 billion budget, okay? And everybody just, oh my God, HPD has a lot of money. 91, 92% of that goes to salary and benefits. So it's not a whole lot of money. We have to pay our people, and we have to be competitive. The mayor just gave 7.2 million so we can get more cadets in. So there are a lot of challenges. What I'm saying is this didn't happen just in the mayor's administration. For years, you need so much amount, 14 million. I always talk about that to properly replace vehicles in our fleet. But some years when things are just, you got a lot of stuff going on, okay? When you don't get that, it kicks it back and it makes it worse. We have an aging fleet. 50% of our vehicles are a little bit more are beyond the replacement life. And that's patrol vehicles, 100,000 miles, 5 years. Unmarked vehicles, 120,000 miles, 7 years, okay? So we have a very aging fleet and a lot of other problems. So we'll prioritize and we're going to get there where we need to. But outside state, go ahead.
Just want to clarify, so then,
Yes.
because I know you said it's an ongoing investigation, but can you say whether that they did give some sort of explanation as to why they did this? Or
No.
you can't say it all? Or?
No.
You
we're
said
not gonna
patrol
say
units
anything.
made
Let me
contact
get you
with
and then
Rudy.
I'm going to get you. You're going to be the last one. Go ahead.
So I know that, why were HPD officers at the home this morning? And also, I know family members are concerned for Rudy's safety. Is there no concerns as far as the investigation?
You guys want to talk about that call for service?
We can. It's a call for service. There was a burglary report last night at the house. Patrol responded, and we were alerted because it was a house of note, and it's been part of the investigation, and that is also now part of our investigation. What happened last night?
You said in the beginning of this press conference that Rudy has made contact with patrol units at some point. Can you explain what that was, and does he face any charges for saying that he had false names?
So it is a criminal offense to give false names when you're detained under arrest or you're making a valid police report. There was an instance where he did that, him and his mother. At this time, though, the district attorney has declined to accept charges on that until our entire investigation has been
So you
complete.
tried to charge him as well.
The facts were presented to the district attorney.
Mario, we're going to end it, okay?
Can you say what that contact was quickly though with him? You said patrol units. Was it like he was stopped in his car? Can you just tell us?
I was gonna ask specifically, did HPD ever go to his home and with his mother, and were any fictitious names given at the home?
I'm sorry, excuse me. Investigators did go out to the home multiple times. They talked to various family members, relatives, friends, neighbors, and yes, they were given a fictitious name.
So was there contact made with Rudy at his home?
Let me close with this one thing, okay? Let me close with this, Mario. Look, we've been open as we can. It's not our first investigation, and everybody here understands what I'm saying about the integrity investigation. This is where we're going to end. We wanted to get up before a lot because this has come as not only a local, but a national, in some cases international, okay, because of everything that's going on. But it ends today, not our investigation, but as we get more information and when it's appropriate, we'll send out information, okay? So I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you for your patience and thank y'all for what you do every day.
Rudy's father, did you know Rudy's father when you were on the
That's it. All right, thank y'all.
Patrol, did you know Rudy's father, Chief, by any chance, when you're on the department?
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
I'm still fine with reporting him missing is considered a misdemeanor, no bigger than a ticket, a traffic ticket.
Yeah.
You're fuzzing out a little bit, unless it's me. I don't know what happened, but it paused or whatever, and then it was like gone for a second, and then it came back on. So I don't know what happened, but I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's all good. Stitching, you are kind of
okay. I'm going inside if that will help.
Okay.
Get closer to the internet box.
Okay, so
I
right
was
now,
saying, I don't know what just happened, but she said something about her internet and then was gone. So I don't know. Is that maybe what was going on? I don't know. But anyhow, what do you guys think about this conference?
yeah, no.
First of all, he needs to shut the fuck up talking about the budget and money and shit like that. Nobody gives a fuck about that. I swear to God.
Yeah,
To put those two together was bullshit.
It's like tragedy pimping on the police level.
Yeah. If that was wow, man.
We don't have the money to actually do our jobs. We need more money.
Yeah, because body cams and your vehicles are just, so much more important than this kid being missing or not being missing and being, made a fool of. Hey, Ellie.
Hey, Ellie.
What happened?
Or no, Ellie?
Ellie.
Are you here?
All of a sudden, the beginning of the thing is
What?
the beginning of all of a sudden the beginning of your live is playing, like the music for me.
Oh, you need to go close out your YouTube and put it back
Oh
on.
no, I'm not in YouTube. I'm in StreamYard only.
Oh wow, I don't know.
Something weird is happening.
I would shut it down and then come back in.
Yeah, this is so weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how weird is that to be glitching like that? It shows we have like 460 people in here. Are we not live? Should I shut it down? Is there something going on?
No, you're live. You're live. I've got you muted on another channel.
Oh, she said she's having an onion moment.
Oh,
are you here?
Weird. It was like playing at the beginning, like your whole intro started playing for me.
I was like,
and
what
I
is
heard
she
you
talking about?
but then that was weird. I like clicked onto StreamYard and out of YouTube, but like the beginning started playing.
But you know what though? If you
weird.
tap a button or something or you don't pause YouTube, it can it does that sometimes. I don't know. It's very odd.
No,
They
I
said
wasn't
the
even
stream
in
is
YouTube.
fine.
That's
Everything's
weird.
okay on
Oh,
this.
that's so weird. I was tripping.
Yeah, I
I
can't
was like in
believe
another
this. What do you
dimension
guys think
or
about
something.
this?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I mean, that was a bunch of nothing that they said. Like, I don't get it. It
I
doesn't
do.
add up to what he was saying yesterday.
Well, yeah, and there's no arrest being made, okay, and then he says there's no SA going on. So why is Quanell not being arrested then for coming out and saying the shit he fucking said yesterday? That he set himself up for a lawsuit yesterday.
Right?
Yeah, well, there's still an investigation going on, and so what the police have to do is go off of what the victim is saying. The person who would ultimately press charges against his mom. You know what I mean?
Poor Ellie in shambles.
That was shambly. It was like playing the beginning, and it had like a blue line, like how you when you do a super chat, but it was like this, like it was going to play the whole beginning of it in StreamYard. It was weird. It was just like
very odd. Yeah, very.
Never happened to me
Are you
before.
on your phone, Ellie? Or you?
Yeah, I'm on my phone. Yeah, so I
Oh.
clicked off of
that's
YouTube
right.
into StreamYard. Yeah, like phones are weird. They do weird shit.
Yeah, and see, sometimes if you don't pause YouTube, or you click a button and then you click StreamYard, it fucks with you. You know what I mean? Like I've noticed. I try to tell people, like, always pause your YouTube before you click that StreamYard link. Otherwise, you're bound and determined to have feedback, and it fucks everything up.
And then any edibles, dude. You had to see it. I should have taken a screenshot. It was like you're tripping.
Well, that happened to me yesterday when I was walking in the house. Like, I was switching over from the phone to the laptop or whatever, and all of a sudden, I just heard my intro music playing, and there was some comments up on the screen. I'm like, oh my god, these people are gonna be like, what the hell is she doing?
Yeah, it was like the way beginning. It was weird. Yeah, but then they said they didn't see my avatar on there either. I was in some
No, your avatar
world.
wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, it's portals. It's YT
the in between.
portals.
I was trying to get through and I couldn't, so I had to like make another try. I guess getting.
Okay, so we're gonna put the interview with the neighbor lady back on. We're gonna put this on because we didn't get to finish watching it, and I put it up. It's from her, from the neighbor. It's on my YouTube. So if you guys want to go watch it later or whatever, it's 9 minutes long though, so we'll stop it here and there.
News 11. I've been out here talking to these news people because I'm the one who discovered that 25-year-old boy that they say had been missing for 8 years. He really was missing. His mama was holding him captive in her house. This boy was coming into my garage every day when he would so-called get off of work with his mother because she made him go to work with her. That's how deep this shit is. She made him go to work with her to make him not talk to nobody because she kept him captive for 8 years. He was supposed to went missing at 17, and he wasn't even really missing. She had him in the house hiding and made him go by his nickname, which was Dolph. His real name is Rudy, but I'm talking about She had this poor child. This baby head is so fucked up right now. Like, he's so fucked up. I've been talking to these news people day and night about what y'all see these news people out here. These all the news trucks right here. This is his house. Like, this woman had folks thinking this man had been missing for 8 years, and she was sexually molesting her own son. Like, how fucking sick you can be? Like, there's some crazy motherfuckers out here in the world. The reason why the baby's so messed up like he is, because she was feeding him drugs, hallucination drugs. This shit is crazy. Like, y'all see this? News people, she gotta fix her hat. This one was good. I didn't participate per se. I was just questioned by the news people of him coming to my house.
See, she's like, I didn't participate. Right, BJ? I feel like it's I feel like in
Right?
my opinion, it's the next scamathon. Scam game
Something is going
2023.
on because
Did
they
you
would have
know?
released the released him to his mom if they thought, even if they were like,
Yes,
I
exactly.
don't know about all that because they don't seem too goddamn concerned about anything really.
They
Because
care about the
They
car and the
don't.
cameras. That's what they need. They need the car and the cameras. They need those body cams.
and did you notice that? Okay, when they were asked in several different ways, did you hear what he said to the advocate about being SA'd? They skirted around that so much. They didn't directly really say yes or no, and they did that on purpose because I bet you money they fucking heard it.
Yeah,
I'm
see,
sure they had to.
how do you hold someone hostage and just let them roam the neighborhood? You can't be both ways. Is he hostage or is he roaming the neighborhood? He's got your car. He's got keys to your car. He's moving the car. He's going to work with you. Like,
right.
Hold on. Yeah, more
Those
than
don't
enough.
equal.
There's way more people are lying left and right,
What
baby.
the hell with this whole thing? What the hell?
Yeah,
Someone's lying or everybody's lying.
It's
Well, they
also
said that at
sketchy.
17 he's considered an adult down there in Texas, guys.
I
Yeah.
heard that. Mhm.
Yeah. I've been looking at the Texas Code of Criminal Procedures regarding missing people and whatnot, because I'm just a geek. And
Oh, we love that about you.
Right.
Yeah, I am. I own it proudly. Anyway, so everything I see here, he would be considered a missing person because he's over the age of 17, right? Not a child.
Okay.
And so it says that basically the only way it's considered a missing person is if there is attempted commission of family violence against the child of the actor. The missing person also includes a person of any age who is missing and is under proven physical or mental disability or is senile because of one or more of these conditions, is subject to immediate danger or is a danger to others, is in the company of another person or is in a situation, the circumstances of which indicate the missing person's safety is in doubt, or the other one doesn't count. But anyway, so right now, he's no longer a missing person. They found him.
Yeah.
And he's an adult.
Mhm.
And if they don't have like a sworn statement from him saying, yes, what this Quanell X said is true, then law enforcement is just basically out there looking for something else to arrest the mom from, because we've already, court of public opinion says that she's disgusting and all that. And we're going off of Quanell X, his
Yeah.
words. Okay.
Is he trustworthy? Like I've heard like multiple different
I
things
was
about
looking
him.
into that.
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
I
You're gonna
don't
say
know.
no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to
I
say
don't
no.
know.
I haven't done a whole lot, but he does have a lawsuit against him where he had
Oh.
represented himself as being a lawyer, which he's not.
What?
Oh, I think somebody was saying that yesterday.
Yeah.
Heels knows a lot about him. She was saying she's known about him for years.
Yeah. Queen, I put a link in the private chat. Is Grizzy talking to the family after the press conference? Yeah. So
Yeah, I have it pulled up. I just didn't know if you guys wanted to put it on yet or.
I hope EquiSearch sues the mom because they searched for him, and I hope that people that donated to the GoFundMe's file reports. That's the only way we can go about this now, right?
If you do not take him to get checked.
And that picture's what?
This is the picture that some HPD officer sent me because I requested the picture.
What is this picture? What is this? What's
Rudy
this?
in the kitchen of his mother's house in 2018.
I'm sorry, what?
Rudy, that's a picture of Rudy in his mother's house in 2018. That's when Janie was married to Robert Ortega.
Robert Ortega.
Yes.
That's a picture of Rudy in 2018.
My next question is, Rudy, I do want to say Rudy because I'm hoping that he's not getting manipulated and keeping away from watching TV. That so-called friend of Janie Santana, where he's at, Nikki Garza. Remember, you will be an accomplice. I've got pictures of cars. I got license plates. I will turn those in, which I've already posted them on Facebook. And I really hope that I do. What I would like for HPD to see is make a report, be on the lookout for those cars, and just run a report. But she's always changing cars. I physically went after the airport, what was that hotel, Holiday Inn? I physically went to her house yesterday to snoop around. There were reporters there. I didn't do nothing illegal. She has been living there. I did find, and Rudy, this is what I want you to find out because I know that you've always carried it very dearly with you. And I did find it because I know you've had it for many, many, many years. That more than likely grandma gave it to you. If you can get away, if they're not forcing you to stay where you're at, and if you can get away, you know where to find us. You can call your Aunt Sylvia, which is your godmother. You can call Abel, my son, which is your cousin. Here.
Are those his rosary beads?
This is his rosary that he would always carry around his neck. Always.
And where did you find that?
I found it right in the front as probably his mom was rushing him to hurry up and get away from the neighborhood. So right now, Janie Santana has gone back. I have people within the areas on the lookout. They did call me at 12:30, 4:36 in the morning that she was
This shit
in the
just
neighborhood.
gets weirder.
She
wasn't in the neighborhood. She went
Right?
to load her car up with
So weird.
stuff to take.
She found this rosary outside.
Loaded. She's got 2 guns
Yeah.
with her. She's got a car full. She's gone and tried to convince or bribe Rudy into changing his story. She offered him thousands of dollars. She's offering the neighbors money to keep their mouths quiet and say that they're all lying about
Neighbors did come to me yesterday telling me that she did offer each neighbor 150, 250 per day or whatever so that they won't say nothing. Okay, they were very honest. And one lady, I won't say her name, but she was on the news. She did come up to me when I was there in front of Janie Santana's house, acknowledging everything that I knew deep in my heart that he has always been there all this time. But people thought, and I'm going to find out who the first investigator was when I heard about the disappearance and I knew it wasn't right. Okay. This investigator, I don't know who it was, but private investigator, she got on the phone with me and called me every name in the book that I didn't want to see Janie finding her son, etc., etc. And I said, you know what? That day's going to come that everything's going to come out to light.
HPD said that he was okay, that he's an adult, that, you know, he made his choice to stay with her. How do you guys feel about that?
Very upset. He wouldn't have said those things if he knew that Janie wasn't holding on him. And prior to them leaving the hotel yesterday, Janie had threatened him that had he not left with her, she was going to hurt herself and he was going to be without a mother. If he didn't change his story, that both he and she would end up in jail and prison because of what he told Cornell X. With my understanding, there was law enforcement in that same room hearing that conversation. So for the chief of police to say that they didn't hear anything and that it's just Cornell X, no, sir. Get it straight. Tell your people to tell the truth. Speak the truth. I don't care what position you're in, how high you are up there. Speak the truth. This kid is not a kid anymore. He's 25 years old, but he needs
But
help.
HPD says that
He's
at the
been
time,
in there.
HPD's position is that at the time he was 17 years old, which in the state of Texas
A
makes you an adult.
male is considered an adult at the age of 17.
Let me-
It doesn't matter.
ladies,
He
can you
was
say your
forced
names so
and
we
he
can
was
get- Let me-
drugged. He was forced to do what his mother told him to do.
Let me
What-
clarify
how
this.
is that not a crime? His mother has held him there under false pretense that if he reached out or looked for help, he was going to go to jail and something bad was going to happen to him. What is someone of his state of mind at that time? He may have been 17, but he still had the mind of a 10-year-old. Rudy was not a grown adult at that time, and his mind was. He was not anywhere near where he could be on his own.
Being
He did
coerced,
what his
being
mother told him.
manipulated, taking advantage of your own child that you raised. And Janie, I know you're listening to me, and you can come back and say that you're going to have me locked up or get me in trouble or whatever. Stick that up to where the sunshine don't shine. I'm going to say it in a nice way because your day is coming. We're almost there to get you. There's nowhere that you can run because I'm going to make sure that your posters go all over. Don't even attempt to get into an airport and go anywhere because that's not going to happen.
What do you think motivated your sister? What do you think motivated your sister?
To do this? She's always been manipulative. She's had different husbands, different names. She even tried to use my name that I did whatever to her, which is falsifying.
She's a greedy person.
She's a very greedy person.
Greedy, self-centered, selfish.
It's all about money.
She's always been after money. Any way she can get money, anything she has to do, she doesn't care who it hurts or what the outcome is, as long as she has the money for that time, and then she moves on to another way. My grandma
Did
made
Rudy have
progress
some
with
sort of
peace.
mental delay or a mental, like you said, he was sort of simple?
Who wouldn't have a mental delay when you're all when he was growing up, he was fun to be with. He grew up with his cousins, my children, my sister's children. They all got along. And then all of a sudden, she just took controlship when my nephew had that motorcycle accident. And that's where some of his his mind just went off.
So you had a motorcycle accident?
My oldest nephew. Yes, her firstborn. And then the dad killed himself, HPD, for whatever reasons. I don't know, some traffic citations or whatever.
And what are your names, ladies?
My name is Pauline Sanchez Rodriguez. I'm the oldest of the aunt here.
Michelle Rodriguez, I'm his cousin, first cousin. I don't want to get into it.
I have nothing to hide. I'm a tip. And I know that this is all coming about greediness, about money. She's bought another life insurance policy. I've got pictures on my phone. I did take pictures. I didn't take her mail because I know that's a federal offense, but it's not bad just to take pictures.
And you know, they say that the DA has not pressed charges yet, that they need to wait to complete their investigation before they proceed with this. Right now, Janie has the chance to get further away.
They're giving her the opportunity.
They're helping her. They're giving her a head start when all they had to do was bring her in and question her, bring Rudy in, take him to get evaluated, have medical records because he has not been in a hospital. He has not been checked since they got him from the church over there in Second Ward, in Magnolia. So, Chief of Police and whoever else is saying that y'all have to wait, thank you. You're giving Janie a head start.
Are you guys gonna try to get Rudy from the family if he can go with you guys? Are y'all gonna try
I
to?
want Rudy to come home with my aunt and for him to get, I mean, if we have to do the law's job for them, we would do what we need to do to get him the help he needs so we can take care of him.
Of course, we're not going to do nothing illegal, but as I said, as I said yesterday, I called HPD to send a unit out there to have the license plates run 2 different places. They never showed up. When I called back, dispatch or somebody from that HPD unit told me, we don't have any units. We don't have any units. So what? We don't have any units. But as soon as we get a unit, how long would that be? 2 or more hours. We waited there. Nobody ever showed up. I finally called back. I said, you know what? I'm tired of waiting. I'm going back to the other destination. I'll go do things on my own.
Saber lo que sucedió hoy, cómo reacciona la familia. Estamos enojados que no van a hacer nada. Ya hasta ahorita están diciendo que no van a hacer nada.
El jefe de la policía dijo que lo único que sucedió es que la mamá y Rudy aparentemente utilizaban nombres ficticios y que las alegaciones que se supo ayer aparentemente
no son buenas.
¿Cómo van a saber si no llevaron a Rudy a un hospital para que lo chequeen? ¿Cómo van a saber si Janie nunca la trajeron para acá para dar hacer las preguntas que tienen que hacer? Nomás hablaron con ella allá y dijeron ya, vamos a dejar todo así. Eso está diciendo que cualquier persona puede hacer lo que ellos quieren con los mismos hijos, nietos, sobrinos, lo que quieren hacer y nadie va a hacer nada porque no hay pruebas.
La policía dice que Rudy está con su mamá y que está a salvo.
Rudy no está con la mamá, es la otra cosa. El chief of police no sabe la verdad porque Rudy no está en la mamá. Yo sé dónde está Rudy y no está con la mamá. La mamá ahorita está manejando afuera de Houston. Ya está afuera de Houston. No está aquí en Houston.
¿Dónde está Rudy?
Rudy está con la amiga de la mamá, con la persona que tiene mucho ayudando a Janie con Rudy.
La amiga es una de las personas que estuvo en el vehículo negro cuando
en el gray SUV, se llama Nicolás. Ella es la persona que tiene Rudy ahorita. Y ella tiene miedo de Janie, dijo que no sabe qué va a hacer porque Janie le ha dicho que le va a hacer algo a ella también si ella...
¿Piensa que Rudy todavía está en peligro ahorita?
Sí, Rudy sí está en peligro. Rudy necesita ir con un médico para que lo chequee, para que él pueda recibir la ayuda que él necesita y Janie la tienen que traer. Janie se tiene que entregar y no va a ser. Y el chico le está dando el freedom para irse donde ella quiere. Cuando ellos piensen que van a hacer algo o van a poner cargos y la van a buscar, no la van a encontrar.
¿Qué opina de las declaraciones que dio ayer el activista donde dijo que hubo abuso sexual, hubo que daban drogas y hoy la policía...
La policía no están haciendo nada y eso es la verdad. Yo sí creo lo que Rudy dijo. Rudy no va a decir mentiras. Y Janie le dijo a Rudy ayer, cuando Rudy entró en la conference room, después que él habló con Juaneo X, Janie le dijo que él tiene que decir que todo lo que él le dijo a Juaneo X era una mentira, porque si no, a ella y a él lo iban le iban a poner un arrest warrant y lo iban a él no ya no iba a tener mamá, él ya no iba a poder estar con ella. Y antes que se fueron, ella también le dijo a Rudy que si él no va con ella, que se iba a matar. ¿Cómo va a pensar? Después de todo lo que ella ya le ha hecho.
I want to say something. I'm not very good in Spanish, but I'm going to say this in English. When Rudy's brother passed away, Charlie, he had a policy as Rudy being the beneficiary to that policy. Now, it is my understanding that since Rudy became missing back when, that it's my understanding, I don't know how true this is, but my understanding that Rudy has to be missing for at least 3 years so mom can collect that policy. And that's one thing that I want to find out. Did mom collect that policy? Because only Rudy was the beneficiary to that policy. And I know Rudy hasn't gotten a penny from that policy.
Ustedes vuelven a ver a su sobrino a su primo después de 8 años y ahora esta nueva faceta. ¿Qué pasa por la mente de la familia?
And after all these years, not seeing how do you feel? What do you think? What do you thoughts?
I'm sad. I'm sad because I haven't seen my nephew in 8 years. And now that he's here, I just want to grab him and I want to hug him and I want to tell him that he's loved. He has family that loves him and he's not alone. You're not alone, Rudy. We're here for you and we love you.
Estamos felices
and we're behind you.
Y que no está muerto, pero de lo que ha pasado, lo que ella hizo con él, it's not right. It's not right, and she needs to pay for that. One way or the other, she's going to pay for it, and she will be in jail one day.
¿Cuál es el mensaje al jefe de la policía?
¿Mande?
¿Qué mensaje le envía la familia al jefe de la policía?
Hagan su trabajo. Do your job and do your job right. Get your facts straight.
Thank you for having courage. I've been seeing you guys, advocating for Rudy. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Thank you all for showing and posting what y'all do. I mean, it's all of you guys, it's strangers out in the world and here locally and statewide that are helping, that are pulling proof, information of what this Janie does, how she is, the kind of person she is, and they're letting her walk free without doing their job and bringing her in to question her and get the true facts.
She has so many aliases names. She has a lot of pictures that she says it's her. Beautiful pictures, photoshopping.
She knows her over is what I can say.
That, she shows herself to be thin, which she's not. And she photoshops these pictures and posts them that it's her. Well, it's not her. She's falsifying everything. And, we just want Rudy home. I want to take him home. I want him where he's safe, where he's loved, where he can feel the love of God
and live
and live a normal life. I live a Christian life, and I want Rudy to feel that love.
Oh,
that
come
I
on.
feel from God. We're here to help him. We're here to help him. I just pray and hope that he will come home to me, or to one of us, and
Rudy, again, if you're seeing this, just come home. You don't have to be afraid no more. We will not allow anybody to hurt or harm you ever again. You won't be held captive. You won't be in a jail.
You won't be locked in a room or closet anymore, and you will be free to eat and dress and play and do things that you want to do. Come home. Let us come home. Trust in us.
Yeah, come on. I'm so glad that that just cut off. I don't even know what happened, but it was meant for us not to listen to it anymore. That's what
What
it
is
was.
going on?
Because I mean, we live in a safe Christian home. We're perfect. We do no wrong. We just, oh my God, I don't fucking know, man. I'm
Like, you
getting
really didn't know he
whiplash.
was missing for 8 years in that
But
house?
then
If
they
he was
got a
in the
picture
house,
of
like,
him
how?
from 2018 in a house
Shoot. Oh,
in the
God.
kitchen.
Something.
Yeah.
Fuck is
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on
yeah,
right
yeah,
now?
yeah. What is going on? Are we
Oh
being
my
punked?
gosh, she just took off with him so quick. They grabbed the rosary beads from the yard.
Yeah. Jacob, no.
I don't know what to think, you guys. I just don't fucking know.
I don't know what to think either, because it keeps changing. And that Cornell ex guy, like, I
Right
looked
now.
into a little. He seems a little. I don't know. I don't know. I
Brianna,
mean,
thank you, AYB,
shady.
for staying a member. CM421, thank you for becoming a member, love. Brianna, she came in with a $49.99 super chat. Thank you, love. That was really sweet of you. She goes, my opinion on this story hasn't changed. I'm still not passing judgment on anyone aside from the people who can't wait to make themselves famous by using this grown man's pain. We've heard nothing official, but a Han Solo denial, not entirely truthful.
Yeah.
Well, and yesterday I'm like, why is Quanell X like parading him around like a fucking show pony with a blanket over his head, to walking him to his car, putting him in the
Like
car?
ET.
Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is going on? I
That was
don't.
weird.
And then
He wanted to show him his car, like bond with him, so he would tell him his
then he
stories or
comes out with
something.
all this fucking craziness that she's been, what he said yesterday, all kinds of shit. He said all kinds of craziness that she's been making him sleep in the bed with
Yeah.
her, playing housewife and husband,
Daddy.
all kinds of daddy and shit. Like, what the fuck? Then the police come out today and say, no, absolutely not. That none of that was said. There's no SA activity. She's not been arrested. Like, is this a scam or is this a smear campaign or a little bit of both, or just a big fucking family mess?
Yeah, I don't know. But word on the street is that Grizzy knew Quanell X. Grizzy's Hood News.
Yeah, she's the one who got a hold of Quanell X. He said that. He's like, I'm sorry for not being dressed appropriately. I was called I was called out on the street, or called out something.
Yeah, exactly. So,
In a
I mean,
hurry.
this whole thing is just fishy,
Wonky.
fishy, fishy. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was looking at what Quanell was saying yesterday. Yeah, I think it's a scam. Everybody vote in the poll.
Well, not only that, though, look, Grizzy Hood News said that she's been friends with her and she's been talking to her, I guess, for a while now. So I don't know. Like I said, it just seems like a real big setup to me. Like, I don't know. Like, something is off. I don't know what it is,
Something
but
is off. I feel it.
there's
Yeah. From the beginning. Yeah.
Exactly. If Rudy doesn't say, hey, all these things happen and they don't have anything to prove it, the only thing they really have right now is filing a false police report, if she filed that he was a missing person.
Right. And okay, she did, and he was missing, and then he came back home after 1 or 2 days. It was a day or two or something like that. So she didn't even lie on that. If that's the case, he did leave. He was a missing person. She just didn't call and say that he came back home, I guess. So it's not like she lied. I mean, obviously that, if he was a missing person and she filed it, she omitted the truth when he came home. She didn't call and say he's here or whatever. You know what I mean? Well, and I guess obviously she kept that lie up for this long, if that's the case.
Well, and sad fishing on Facebook for 8 years.
Well, yeah, that's another thing too, but that's not, it's not illegal to sad fish on Facebook though. You know
No,
what I mean?
it's
not
not
illegal
illegal.
to grift money from people under false pretenses on here either. From my understanding, people do it all the fucking time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How many times have people had cancer or
Yeah.
hiring lawyers that they don't hire?
They don't. Yeah, that's no,
Yeah.
hell no.
No, it's like so I thought yesterday, this was my thoughts, was that they were setting up this whole thing to sue the city of Houston for something. You know?
Yeah, that's kind of what it seemed like, huh?
Yeah. And then
Oh.
now that now that we've had you know, the official law enforcement press conference, so we can't do anything because we can't afford it. And then we just looked a little bit of the aunts. Those are Janie's half sisters. You know, the mean hater side of the family that she talked about, that's them. So you know, after looking at all these things and looking at what the police said, now Rudy didn't tell us that, but the Quanell and the hater side of the family, I'm using air quotes, okay, are running with the same narrative. You know, it's and now the answer saying that Rudy was somehow learning disabled, or you know, he was delayed or
nonverbal. They said all kinds of shit about him.
yeah, but he wasn't nonverbal before he went missing, air quotes, 2015.
Right.
You know?
Well, that's when you came up here yesterday and said that. People were like, what?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that I can understand, you know, if somebody's traumatized over whatever, right, that they can go mute, or they choose not to trust anybody and don't talk to anybody. But
Right.
obviously with Quanell yesterday, Rudy was talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. You know, even Grizzy said it. And I forget her name, but the lady with the pizza and the Subway sandwiches that was posting, she was saying,
you know, they chased him out to the car. Do you know they chased him out, like chased his ass down out the back door? And when he left with his mom, they chased him down out the back door and was like all in his face. You can see him. There's like a video about it.
oh yeah,
A video on ridiculous as hell. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Why are y'all chasing him down like this? I don't like it.
Telemundo and Univision did
morning.
that, you know, and pushing hi voices. They were pushing people out of the way so that they could get a clear shot of Rudy when that
right. They wanted a picture of his face.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And what's up, voices? Sorry.
Just me. I just needed to come to you with my peeps.
Yeah, he had a blanket. He had a blanket covering him in the hotel, and then when they marched out to the car, they put like a Pendleton, you know, like one of those flannel jacket looking shirt things over him.
This case just gets crazier and crazier and crazier by the minute.
Yeah, now they're talking about the sisters were talking about some kind of what did she say? Life insurance policy, and I don't
he
even
had like a trust or something, or some kind of like thing that he would only have access to. And did she get access to it? They want to know, because she's very into money, the mother.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
I know. What is going on?
Thumb Thug says not long ago she inserted herself in an Oklahoma case.
Janie inserted herself. Oh, you talking about Ginger?
Ginger did. Yeah, I heard she's a wild card. I don't really know much about her, but
saying that, yeah.
Yeah, you know, we're all confused. We're all
It's confusing.
So
It's confusing.
confused, and you know, we don't know who to believe anymore. Anyway,
Right?
but the one thing that keeps coming to my mind, if any of this is true, is Stockholm syndrome.
Possibly.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, weirder things have happened, like then that there's truth and fiction in this, you know?
Yeah, Queen says it all the time.
So we're gonna finish watching this, and then we're about to get the fucking whiteboard out, and we're gonna put this all
Where's
together.
Nanya with the whiteboard?
Oh my God, where's Nanya?
Nanya, calling Nanya with her whiteboard.
Nanya. Look,
Please report to Queen.
paging good Nanya to the Queen Beehive.
Good Nanya to the whiteboard, please.
Whiteboards, right. Good
Good
Nanya.
Nanya to the whiteboard.
Bring the markers and the sticky notes.
Erasable
We're good.
markers because everything could change in a second.
Dry erase, yeah.
Shared what that young man told him when they spoke. He has to fight that. I did reach out to Texas Center for the Missing over a comment on this latest. I did reach out to Texas Center for the Missing for a statement. They said they have no comment at this time. So far, no one has been arrested. This mother is not facing any charges. Of course, we plan to stay on top of this as soon as we learn more. So, again, hearts, lots of this.
I didn't participate per se. I was just questioned by the news people of him coming to my house that day. He used to hang in my garage. He'd have been in my house. Like, this shit great. This is the house. That's the house he's supposed to be living in that day. Yeah, it's really, 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 really crazy. Yeah, they are very. That lady, his mama crazy. His mama was holding him captive, like holding him against his will. He wanted to leave so many times, but she wouldn't let him leave. She would manipulate him and tell him that the police was gonna take him to prison if he showed his face or told anybody his real name and who he was. So yeah, the bitch is sick. She's very sick.
Okay, is this from Rudy to
I
her?
sure am, Khadijah, because the bitch was trying to send the laws to my house, talking about we sold drugs. I don't sell no motherfucking drugs out of my house. So, bitch, you want to play games? I'm gonna play an even harder game, bitch. I'm gonna tell him your son was in my garage and he wasn't missing. I'm a snitch, 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 like Keontae say, snitch, snitch, snitch. You damn Skippy. I ain't finna lie for nobody.
Not before.
Can't do it.
Now,
Not
but
nothing
why
like
not
that.
before?
That shit is deep. But my thing is, y'all, why the police ain't doing nothing about it? They could have been took this boy to safety and got him away.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I feel like they're not doing shit about it because obviously you guys are embellishing shit right now. Like, there's shit going on. I mean, maybe he wasn't missing this whole time, but I have a real hard time believing the whole SA thing if the police are saying that's not what happened and she's not in jail and arrested immediately, because if she had him held captive and was doing things to him and doing that, he would have he would have said so, she would have been in jail. She would have been in jail.
For something, yeah. And, that's... I get so frustrated on things like this because I want, somewhere, a crack somewhere that says, this is the truth. But we're not hearing from anything. The only thing that we rely on is law enforcement, police reports and whatnot. And we have passed of her Facebook scams and GoFundMe's and all the different accounts and yada, 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 yada as a history for mom. And we're acting like Rudy was 8, He wasn't. He was almost 18 when she reported him missing. And so if he's not saying, all this stuff happened, I would...
Very deceiving. The picture of him with that necklace on is very deceiving because he looks like he's about 12.
Exactly.
And here's all her different Facebook pictures or some, a lot of her accounts. But this list right here, if you zoom in on that list right there, there's a bunch of different names that she supposedly goes by.
Yeah. I saw Johnson was saying something about that.
Yeah.
But, somebody was saying yesterday.
Well, people want to know why she's not being arrested. The DA is not pressing charges. So the police, what are they going to arrest her for? If the DA is not going to press charges, they can't just arrest her.
Exactly. There has to be
DA is
some
not
law.
pressing charges. They don't give a shit. At this point, they care more about their cameras, their body cameras, than they do this case, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, and that wasn't a good look, saying, we don't have money for this, that, and the other thing. And, what does it have to do with an investigation into allegations? But then again, if it's not coming from the victim, why would they investigate based on hearsay? I mean, there are places like adult services or, what is it called? Public safety. They're in charge of the database in Texas for missing people. So, hand it off to them and see if there's any merit to bring charges against mom,
Yeah.
And it's crazy. But someone was saying that evidently he left and he came back and he left and he came back. And then this time he left and was like found.
I don't know. They said he
Yeah.
left and came back after 2 days, though.
Yeah,
and
that
he was
was
always around, and he was Dolph. He was known as Dolph, unless he went away for a few
2015.
years.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the neighbors were saying that they've been seeing him around. Obviously, Keisha was saying that he was in her garage.
Yeah.
All the time. And I've seen a lot of questions in chat saying, well, why didn't they report him? Okay, here's the thing. How many times has a missing person been brought up and you knew nothing about it? How many times have you heard of something happening and you go, oh my God, that's 10 minutes from me?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Just because they're neighbors doesn't mean that they automatically know everything going on in their neighborhood, I'm sure Janie wasn't out there going, I just reported Rudy missing.
But the family, how would they not know, that he's not around for 8 years if he was there for 8 years?
Well, they're estranged. They've been estranged for a long time.
Oh, that they are. The ones that just spoke? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Those are the ones that took mom and put her in hospice, and then supposedly Janie went to court with them. Remember that whole thing?
Yeah. So now I get it more. There's a little family stuff going on. A lot of family stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of family stuff, and that side of the family hates Janie, and we don't know what's based in truth. Like Queen always says, there's 3 sides to a story, right, Queen?
His, hers, and the truth. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I've just got all kinds of things in my brain about this.
Yep. I'm gonna finish playing her. We got about 5 more minutes of her chit chatting here.
Okay.
From his mama, she got the boy, and they don't know where she at now. He back in her custody because they couldn't figure out what charges was gonna be brought up against her. So they done let her take him. His own auntie said that she'd have fled with him. Don't know if he at the airport now or the drive to Mexico. They don't know what's going on now because she got away with him. But the thing is, she's so crazy in the head. She knows she's gonna go to jail because she said that they was gonna charge her with harboring a missing person and all this other stuff that just came up. They got to see what type of charges they gonna bring up against her. So the boy is already suicidal. So she gonna probably say that he killed himself and killed her own self after she killed her son because the judicial system is not trying to help. These authorities is not really caring about this boy's safety. If y'all was so concerned with his safety when he so-called made it home and she wanted privacy, y'all should have went and seen the boy and talked to the boy. That's why she denied him medical attention, because she didn't want them to know that he was the one that's supposed to be missing all these years, because she was going to keep trying to live that lie until it came out.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
She just made the accusation that she's going to unalive him, then unalive herself.
Yeah. People are saying that she's going to do that, or that he's going to unalive himself because of all this stuff, and he just didn't want to press charges because whatever the thing is. But what bothers me is wording, okay? And in
Right.
this lady's wording, she said he's in her custody. He's a freaking adult.
Yeah, he's
Right.
25. Yeah.
She doesn't have custody over him. He's not been declared, disabled
Yeah.
or under any kind of a guardianship. And
Yeah, you're
so
right.
it's things like this that bother me because, you know, we're listening to the whole thing. We're trying to get our heads wrapped around everything. And then there are words like that that lead us directly down, the path that they're trying to persuade us for.
Did you hear that somebody just put in chat, and I heard that too, that she took off at like midnight last night and the neighbor called 911?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Did
saw
that
that.
does anybody, do you know anything if that is there validity to that or
Well,
not?
I'm thinking there is
Uh-huh.
because I've seen it in several different sources. I don't have my Twitter open right now, but yeah, they were saying that
Yeah. Yeah, that's what like I'm, like Cinema Shogun did something on that this morning, but like, I don't know.
I
just wanted to see if anybody else heard that.
yeah, I did. And so right now they said that they're looking for Janie. They want to question her, but they can't find her because they're on the lam. They're
They're
out
on
there
the
running.
so
They're in the wind.
in the wind. But is he with her? But they are together, so they're both on the way. I don't know. This is so confusing.
Yeah, I know. It's just, and the problem with us being in true crime is that we are looking for objective evidence. We're looking for something that says this is correct, that's not,
Yeah.
and there's too many things. This is like, instead of us looking at a water hose, we're looking at a fire hose.
Well, that's Quinnell X's fault a little bit. He shouldn't have come out and said any of that stuff, like without knowing it, or if I think the police saying it, Lely saying it first, right? I mean, that
Well,
was like,
yeah, that right there was just a massive red flag with fireworks behind it and,
right.
sirens going off because I don't think he had a right to speak. I
Right.
don't think that Rudy said, Quinnell, could you go out there and tell them all these horrific sexual details about my captivity? For him to go out there and just so many things. God, I wish the behavior panel would look at him
Yeah.
because, Cornell X was a big fan of Louis Farrakhan.
I saw
And
that.
he was also kind of like a
He's in the new
friend
Black
with,
Panthers, it said. I
right,
don't know what that is, but
Reverend Al Sharpton.
Yeah, it
he
said
seems like a similar kind of character to me.
it said he's not a part of it anymore, that they
Right.
don't associate with him very much anymore from
Right.
one of the articles. I mean, it could have just been, who knows? I mean,
Well, he dropped a bomb on this whole thing. If it wasn't for him, things would have been different because, after
Yeah.
that press conference, people would have like backed away.
yeah,
I don't
he's
know.
got people like super upset, and they're thinking of this. Like I said, they're thinking of a child. They in their mind are looking at that picture, and the kid, in that picture, he looks like he's a kid, like he looks maybe 14 or 15. And then you add in these details from him saying, he's been essayed and this, that, and the other, and his mom's held him captive, and she's saying it has him in custody, and you know what I'm saying? It's like you said, it's all about the wording. It's
Well, it's the words and it's the dramatic presentation. When I was watching Cornell, I watched it like 3 or 4 times yesterday after you played it, Queen. And what was getting me is I was looking at him and he had classic presentations of manipulative control narration. So a public speaker that intentionally says things in a certain way with certain inflection that's going to cause an emotional reaction. And preachers do this all the time. Cult leaders do it all the time.
Yeah, he's culty. It seems like what I've read from him. He just gets involved in these like high profile kind of cases, like Trayvon Martin he got involved with, and then he like makes allegations.
Well,
I
he
mean, not always on the wrong. But
don't something
No,
about
no.
don't mind the way I'm dressed. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to
that was
think.
weird.
Well,
I mean,
he's usually in
you
a
know,
suit, you know.
Some
oh, is he?
Nikki O'Shea
Yeah.
said he's an established activist. He seems like he's an established activist.
Yeah, anybody who gets all up and involved in
Yeah, I didn't
crap.
even know his name until yesterday. Had
Me
no idea.
neither. I'd never heard of him before.
Me neither.
Yeah. But what really is when Quanell was saying oh, and Rudy told me these horrific details that just shocked me. And this boy had his own mama, you know, it's stuff like that just
Yeah. When he starts to like interject emotions, like it just seemed yeah.
Yeah, it
Hard
was
to tell. Somebody said he's like a like a different kind of a tragedy pimp. I don't know.
well, and the weird
There's a
thing
fine
is that
line.
his whole history is some things he's cool, you know, yay, that seems like it's on the right side for us, and other things not so much. So, you know, not
Yeah.
saying anything disparaging about him or his career choice or whatever, but this whole thing just stinks to high heaven, and I'm kind of wondering if there's some sort of government cover up somewhere else that we're not supposed to be looking at.
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
sorry, tinfoil.
Oops.
Sorry.
Oops. What'd you say?
Hey, Brianna, how are you, love?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Hey, Brianna.
Excuse me, using part of my lunch break here, and like I said, my opinion on nothing has changed except Quantel and Grizzy. Not a fan of either of them, or of the anyone that's using this as a chance at exposure and clout. I think that not enough has been made of what the police actually said. When they said that the story that was told in front of the microphone yesterday is not entirely truthful.
Right.
That is, I mean, I use that phrase all the time with examiners when I'm talking to them about claimants who I know are lying. That is the tactful way that we tell each other that we've got a fraudster on our hands.
Yes, Brianna, you and I.
That's a tactful way of saying complete bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing he said
Yeah.
yesterday was true.
Yeah, it seems like that. Wow.
Yeah, you and I do the same thing.
Set himself up for a lawsuit doing that.
Yeah, and everybody's running with it like it's gospel and spreading it, and even our chat, which is receipts or it didn't happen, receipts or it didn't happen. They're all talking about how evil the mom is for having done this. Guys, we have zero proof.
Right.
We have a bunch of people who hate each other running to microphones and cameras talking about how much they hate each other. That's all we have.
That's the truth.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
We've got nothing.
Messy family drama is what it seems like.
Yes, exactly. And people keep bringing up, it started on Facebook and it moved to, this is so much like Vaughn.
That's exactly what it reminds me of. Yeah.
Marvon. Yeah.
They're going back and forth, and now it's come to now. I'm going to end this poll now because there's like 400 people. I got 300 people that answered it. Let's see here. We got. I said, do you think it's a scam? 85% says yes. 14% says no. I do know there's a lot of people that were really hurt and really upset because they've stood behind her, and then you got people like this neighbor. She says a lot of things as well, but she says in here something about that Janie accused her of selling drugs.
Accused Keisha the neighbor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Because we're going to, you know, in our defense, we're going to reverse it and attack the person saying things against us. That's Darvo, by the way.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that obviously they've had altercations prior to
Right.
this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying here is from this point forward, okay, because I have all kinds of weird stuff that I could speculate about, but I'm not going to do that. But from this point on, I can see paid interviews with like 60 minutes with
Yeah.
like, you know, I could see a Netflix documentary coming out about it. You know, I could see a book, you know, and a book signing
People
tour.
running with it.
Exactly. Exactly. And I hate to be at that place where I just think that, you know, everything's a scam and they're just trying to use us all. But it is, you know,
Well,
that's
it's like
what's going on.
unfolding in front of our face because I don't know much about this case really, you know what I mean? So
None
it's
of
kind
us
of
do.
fascinating to me how crazy things are. And it's like going in several different directions here, you know, and
Yeah. Yeah. And that's I think this is kind of cool because we're sort of in like at ground floor level.
watching it all unfold really.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. I can hardly wait for that chapter to do this 2 years from now.
And I can't believe that in all of that yesterday that went on, not one person thought to ask or to say, why are you telling this story? It never occurred to Quanell that it was not his story to tell. He was very eagerly, going into explicit detail on
Oh yeah.
I mean, disgusting
Several
detail.
people in the chat said this is crazy. I can't believe he's saying this like the news. I can't believe
It was
that,
shocking.
yeah,
Yeah.
that this he's saying all this. I mean, I was shocked he was saying all the shit he said.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was the whole point of that conversation or the interview or whatever you want to call it is for shock value. You
Yeah.
know, and I wouldn't be surprised if the lot of them, including Rudy, have been planning this for years.
It's possible, and I like KB had a good point in the chat just now. Said if we're comparing this to Vaughn, then we need to wait a long time to take a stance, and I agree. We need to wait until the actual people involved can speak publicly, or until the police do what the police in Vaughn's situation did in late November and release the police report. Then we will know.
Exactly. Exactly. Until that time, we are just MGL.
Exactly.
We're going off of hearsay. And Brianna, you and I both know.
Well, I don't think we're necessarily going off of hearsay. Like I said, this is more of like a case discussion kind of thing, and we're watching it unfold as it happens. This just happened. You know what I mean? She just went out and did this. I mean, I don't so much say we're MGLs, like we're promoting it and saying, yes, we need to stand behind this family. We got to stand. No, it ain't nothing like that.
No, I'm just saying that there are so many people that are running with the mother is evil Quanell X narrative.
Yeah, they're going to. There's people that are going to go with it and go against it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. Like I said, we're kind of watching this unfold as it goes on right now.
Because we have to have a villain. We have to have a bad guy in our story. And right now, Mom's the bad guy, because we have X, Y, and Z.
I don't necessarily know that she really is like a bad, what I'm saying? Like I said, look at all the shit she went through.
Could
you know
be
what I'm
one big
saying?
scam.
Like, she went through her husband, unaliving himself in front of the precinct where he worked. She went through her son passing away in a car accident, motorcycle accident. Then she went through with him leaving and coming back and whatever else went on with all that. I'm sure she's got some stuff going on herself.
Oh yeah, God,
I think with the DA saying he's not pressing charges, I think that speaks volumes. And I was waiting for the Houston Police Department to make a statement in regards to this. I don't give two fucks about their video cameras and their bullshit budget and all that. But I think that spoke volumes when he said we are not pressing charges at this point. That tells me that there's obviously no criminal activity going on that he sees or that he feels he could get a conviction for or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Nothing criminal that they can pin on her right now, even though everybody's out with the pitchforks and torches saying, arrest mom, she should be in jail for the rest of her life and all that other
Yeah,
stuff.
but you know what though? They need to be holding him accountable for coming out and lying like he did, if that's the case, you know?
Yeah, false police report or whatever. Guys, no, I'm not saying we are MGL. I'm saying this is an MGL like situation where, because at first I thought Dre was bad, you know, because that's all I heard.
I've never thought she was bad I
Well,
don't know.
I didn't know anything about what was going on. I just saw all the Boo Dre stuff. But then as I started
Well, that's how
watching
a lot
and
of
learning.
people are though. That's how social media is, you know,
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
prejudge without even realizing it, you know?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying here is that instead of, you know, taking the first narrative that comes along that fits what you're doing, don't run with that forever. You know, I know the Hive is very open to both sides to weigh the evidence and what we have, you know, presented to us and take it as a very open-minded approach to everything. And so
Yeah, I honestly would like to hear from both sides. I would like to hear Janie and Rudy, and I would like to hear from, you know, these people who are being very, very loud and very pro arrest her right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're okay, so it seems like it's three sisters against her.
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
was those three, they said they were sisters, correct? Or am I wrong?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Her half sisters. Yeah.
So it's three half sisters against one.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think we're so much MGL in this situation, although with the spreading the misinformation. I think the way that it's being run with is more Tyler Feller, Zav girl, continuing with the Sammy Smith as a murderer and the conspiracy theories and the Truckee, the way that they're still hung up on Kylie Rodney. Because they got it was a murder narrative and they just refused to let it go.
Yeah, they stuck with that.
Yeah.
And it, despite, you know, having absolutely zero proof of it and the police making statements that, you know, run counter to it. We've got that same thing here. The police statements absolutely counter what Quanell said yesterday.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think that a lot of people should take that into consideration. The ones that are really like still going, you know, gung ho for the mom. Like I said, I think it speaks fucking volumes that they said we are not pressing charges, we are not making any arrests, we are not, you know, we're not taking her into custody. That to me says that there's obviously nothing in that way. You know, she's not doing anything wrong.
Well, you know, and that's what Ellie has said. And you know, guys, okay, I own it. MGL was a really bad analogy, but what I'm saying is you don't grab the first story that you hear.
Oh wait.
Make it your own. What?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Independent thinker corrected me. She is not a cop widow. Sorry. I apologize. I thought she was, so maybe I need to be corrected on that. I thought they said her husband unalived himself outside of the precinct he worked at.
Yeah. Yeah, he was HPD, right? Ticket fraud or
Independent thinker said she is not a cop widow. So I don't know what she's obviously saying. No, she's not.
Maybe they were divorced.
Oh, they were never married. I'm sorry. So they were together.
His father. Got it.
Oh.
Right.
So Rudy's father then, or was it just her boyfriend? Okay, so they were not married. So, but it, you know, would be they were divorced at the time.
Okay, so technicality, yeah.
So yeah, they were married before. So whatever, wife and husband. That's the same difference. They were divorced. They were, you know what I mean? They were married at one point. So anyhow, yeah. Same difference. But yeah, she's been through a lot herself. So I mean, I don't know. Like I said, with the police saying we're not pressing charges, there's nothing to there's nothing to go off of here. There's no essay. Then he clearly said that he was in the room. The detective stood up and said, I was in there. I was in the room.
Yeah. And so, guys, it's interesting as crap because we love a car wreck. We love a train wreck. We like to look at the things that are just absolutely horrifying because it gets all of our endorphins and all the things going. But what I'm trying to say is that we need to take all of this like with a step back, a nice fresh breath, and not get so dug into one portion of the story or some sort of idea so that we're not open to what the actual truth is, and we're not deceived by all that. Yeah.
That was all I wanted to say. Just wanted to hop up a little bit on break and remind everybody that the police are saying that the story that everyone is basing all of the stories they're talking about now was not true. Just
right.
bear that in mind.
Well, yep. And that goes to show how quick a story can get out of hand. Like this one right here, we just watched it as it was unfolding, get super out, it's still getting out of hand. People are still getting crazy about it. You know what I mean? And the police just made their statement not even 40 minutes ago.
Right.
Okay, and so I had to go somewhere and come back, right?
Hey, Cappy.
But hey, what's up? What I gathered was law enforcement basically confirmed that him being missing was a fraud by saying that he had contact with them.
Day, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah, he had contact with them, but used a different name. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So that's the only thing that's confirmed at this point. All the other allegations they totally dodged.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm hoping what happens is that people that donated to that GoFundMe report and that EquiSearch files suit on her because they searched, and that is that's a serious resource right there. Like that guy from EquiSearch, he was talking. They searched for him, right?
Right.
So hopefully that's where some of the accountability will come from GoFundMe and EquiSearch, because obviously law enforcement, they totally dismissed it like it's only like a misdemeanor ticket and we got a budget to uphold, blah blah blah. Like they don't give a fuck.
Right.
So I really wasn't really very pleased with that budget talk during that discussion. That's pretty gross. That was pretty gross.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place for that shit, and it wasn't then.
Well, and I see this separating into two camps where the police department is saying, look, y'all were so against us, defund the police, and look, we can't do our jobs. And then on the other side, the people that are going to protest outside somebody's house or somebody's jurisdiction saying, you guys need to take action. You guys need to take action. And they've already told us there's nothing right now. We can look at it, but there's nothing right now for us to take action about. You can't just arrest somebody because you don't like them.
Right.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with that at all. It depends on how much evidence they have. But for them to complain about their budget kind of was indicative of well, you guys wanted to defund us. It was their time to cry about their budget, which was really bad, inappropriate. It was inappropriate to do at a press conference for a kid or a person that is missing, and that as of right now has these allegations floating around him because of that city advocate guy,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel I think with defunding the police department, there's also some auditing, and certain people don't have the money they used to, which I don't know. I just don't see a whole lot of difference in then and now kind of thing since the defunding, but that's a whole fucking another discussion. But it was just not good timing. It didn't sit well with me to talk about money when you got somebody's life in your hands. I mean, because they're talking about how bad off this kid's doing.
Yeah.
You know,
And
like,
everything about this so far, except for the breaking news that the man who is missing for 8 years has been found. Boom, stop right there. Everything else has been highly inappropriate.
oh my God, yeah. And when we were listening, listen, I've been really busy. I didn't get to hear the part. I did replay of the live from yesterday, and the part where what's his name? What's his name? The advocate guy,
Quanell.
X. That was so fucking performative.
Yep, that's what
The
I was
way
saying.
he explained that, like,
Mhm.
I feel like he might not be lying about it. The kid might have said something that sounded off, but I feel like he added to it, and that's just an opinion. But like, I don't know. I noticed the cops dodged that. They didn't give a straight answer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think they might have heard some type of discussion, but who knows? Like, what if Quanell was leading and like coaching, or you know what I mean?
Well, and the thing that Brianna was saying is the Han Solo quote. That's not entirely truthful. So the police said that's not entirely truthful because they heard what was told to Quanell by Rudy. And what Quanell presented, instead of them coming out saying no, he's lying, he has bits of truth in there, but I think you're right about the exaggeration or the embellishment.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he painted a picture of like, yeah, it was too much, man. Way too much. He did too much with that.
Yeah.
And I was trying to look into like who he is and stuff. I haven't really got into it though.
Yeah. Could a life insurance policy be the heart of a family feuding? Money's always.
I heard something about life insurance. One of the sisters talked about it. And it didn't make sense what she said to me. She's like, yeah, she has a life insurance policy.
She took out a policy and had to wait like 2 years to collect on it or something about he had to be missing for 2 years to collect on it, and they wanted to know if she collected the money from it.
Oh, okay.
Because that could be motive right there,
And then
of
the
this whole thing.
rosary she found outside, I just felt like that was so weird.
Yeah, they just happened to pull up and they just happened to find it right outside.
Yeah, she must have been rushing him so much that he dropped it, is what she said. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
Now I'm side eyeing you, Auntie. Like, the hell's going on?
And I have a nitrile glove that I'm going to pull the rosary out, but
I'm dead.
Yeah,
I'm going to take my ungloved, nasty ass hand and move it around so the cameras can see it better.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, please. Girl, please.
Like, cut it out.
Yeah.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, it's like they definitely were bringing the dramatics, that's for sure.
I feel like everybody is getting their camera time or something.
Yeah, and like listen to this. When she first starts out, she's like, I was on the news, channel 7, channel 8, channel 12, channel fucking everything.
Right, exactly. And that's what it seems like, is everybody wants a 15 minutes of fame off of this thing.
Attention is currency, bitch.
Exactly.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the interviews from the guy at McDonald's that sold Rudy a milkshake 2 years ago. Anybody and everything.
Ready? I'm playing this where she says it. Okay, ready? Listen to what she says. The very first thing she said.
Yesterday, I was on channel 13. Yesterday, I'll be on Fox 26, channel 2, News 11. I've been out here talking to these news people because I'm the one who discovered that 25-year-old boy that they say had been missing for 8 years. He really wasn't missing. His mama was holding him captive in her house. This boy was coming into my garage every day.
You didn't discover anything.
She done
Exactly.
cracked the case. She's on channel 2. She's on channel 13. She's gonna be on channel 15. She's gonna be on ABC News. She got it all. She cracked a fucking case.
Mm-hmm.
Just ask her, she'll tell you.
Yeah, and Hulu will be asking us to do a reality TV show soon.
Oh, and don't forget the sisters came over and talked to her too. They're real nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So they all had their
fill of camera time, I guess. So
yeah, they was
ain't that nice?
sharing stories and you know what I mean.
Listen, I'm sure mom is a total mess in a shit bag.
Probably is. She probably is. But this shit right here is
But these people are getting messy now.
right. Like,
Yeah,
like I said, we're watching all of this shit unfold in front of our faces. It's hard not to watch because, like I said, as it's going on, we're watching it unfold.
and it just keeps getting weirder and weirder and weirder.
Yeah.
Were they any of the people that contacted law enforcement?
No, I don't think so.
Nah.
Well, the neighbor claims that she didn't know he was missing.
Well, she's on the cracked case.
She discovered him.
She discovered it.
Yeah. Discovered him.
Because he was out in her garage every single day. So.
Yeah, I thought he was discovered sleeping outside a church. My bad.
Yeah.
Like giving a new meaning to discover. Kind of like Christopher Columbus.
Right.
Can't discover something that's already been discovered.
Pause game on point.
Why the police ain't doing nothing about it? They could have been took this boy to safety and got him away from his mama. She got the boy and they don't know where she at now. He back in her custody because they couldn't figure out what charges was going to be brought up against her. So they done let her take him. His own auntie said that she'd have fled with him. Don't know if he at the airport now or the drive to Mexico. They don't know what's going on now because.
Did you hear that? The auntie said, more than enough. I don't know where he's at. Shit.
Independent thinker said,
he's hiding. He's ducking and dodging. Said, I don't want no parts of that. No.
Bitch, independent thinker said she will not be getting a cup of sugar when in need. She will not.
Shame on you. You're a bad neighbor girl.
Oh my God.
Yeah, who wants sugar from her anyway? She's, dealing drugs.
Yeah, who wants your druggy sugar, lady?
May not get sugar.
Right. It probably has like
shit. Speak for yourself. I might want
watermelon sugar. Hi. Wanna be.
She
got that balance sugar.
But the thing is, she's so crazy in the head. She knows she's gonna go to jail because she said that they was gonna charge her with harboring a missing person, and all this other stuff that just came up. They got to see what type of charges they gonna bring up against her. So the boy is already suicidal. So she gonna probably say that he killed himself and killed her own self after she killed her son because the judicial system is not trying to help. These authorities is not really caring about this boy's safety. If y'all was so concerned with his safety when he so-called made it home and she wanted privacy, y'all should have went and seen the boy and talked to the boy. That's why she denied him medical attention, because she didn't want them to know that he was the one that's supposed to be missing all these years, because she was going to keep trying to live that lie until it came out. Like, this bitch is crazy. Like, the authorities not even looking at she can kill him because they know he got problems right now. Turn around and kill herself. For what?
Oh, stop.
Something that they could have stopped and done something about it.
Stop.
Yeah, they are insane.
Yeah.
She more insane because shoot, they let her get him back. He with his mama right now. They took him away from his mama, but he with his mama right now. And they looking for both of them. They can't find either one of them. They think they sitting here staking out these folks' houses, thinking that these folks gonna come back to their house. These folks not gonna come back to their house because they know people's looking for them. These news people, these polices, they out there rabbit ass mind. Like this, they not gonna see them. They're not gonna come back to that house. The lady took her belongings that she wanted to take yesterday, and she left. Like, this shit is really, really, really crazy.
Yeah, harboring a missing person is a charge, but it's a misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor.
These folks is crazy than a loony bug. Then you got an auntie that popped up. She said her mama stayed there, which was supposed to be the lady's mama. And when she would come and do a welfare check on her mother, she never saw this boy in that house. How come? She said, she gonna ask me how come I didn't tell nobody before now that he was missing. First of all, I just moved back to Houston, so I didn't know the little kid was missing. But when I found out he was missing, I said he wasn't missing.
Not a little kid. Not a little kid.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. These words are deceiving as hell. There's, you know what I'm saying, making it sound like he's fucking 12 or something.
Exactly. Little boy, you know, this kid, mama, custody, you know, that's just, I hate that. It just makes me angry. Exactly. He's 25, Joycatcher.
Right.
He's 25. He was almost 18 when she reported him missing.
So his ass was, and I mean, you know, I don't know, Mike, you know, your kid's still at 18, you're 17, 18, still like young, you know, your kid, you call him, you know what I mean? Like, it's your child. But when when you're 25, you're not known, you're not known as a kid.
No, and mom doesn't have custody of him. It's like I was saying yesterday,
Right.
you know, I'm mama bear when it comes to my sons. And, you know, they're grown families, careers, whole 9 yards. So I can understand that mentality, but you see, they're trying to run with this narrative that he was, you know, we're thinking he's Summer Wells' age or Michael Vaughn or something like that. And we might not be consciously upfront thinking that, but based upon our experiential history, what we know of the past, when we hear these kind of things, we're just going to automatically relate them to it. So she's saying boy, custody, mama, Quinnell was doing the same thing, this child, doing it to their child. You know, it's just a whole big mess. Yeah. And the auntie was saying that yes, that Janie took care of their mom for a long time. And that oh, I just lost it. Yeah, he's not in danger. And we don't know that he was being drugged up. And we don't know any of these for a fact. You know, all these people who didn't report him missing, that weren't advocating for him prior to all the news cameras showing up, you know, they don't know, because honest to God, I could tell you, you know, maybe if I see my neighbor leave today, but I don't know what she'd been doing in her apartment for the last 8 years, you know, and we talk outside and stuff, but all these people are authority on what's going on, you know, and I saw him, he was every day in my garage. And
All right, I'm playing the rest of this, baby. We only got a couple minutes left.
Okay.
But y'all, his whole family didn't know for 8 years that he was missing at his mama house. How can you not know that somebody that's supposed to be missing 8 years was home this whole time? So you telling me y'all ain't never tried to come over and have family gatherings with her, and she never came to any family gatherings with him? Like, that's the question I want to know. Like, for real. His family is all on the news and that they don't know. They thought one boy said that she did to him. The other family member said she had been lying when they come over. But the thing is, when they would come over, the only reason they didn't know she was at home because she used to make Dolph go park her car in this vacant house around in this back in the corner, because there's no outlet back there. That's where he would go park the car until it was time for them to go to work. Yeah, Day, I'm right with you. That's what I just said. That woman gonna ask me, tell me how come I didn't tell nobody before now. First of all, I didn't even know shit about the situation until now. But I'm the one who let y'all know that he wasn't missing. He had been at the house the whole time. The baby is screwed up in the head. He never came to my house in his right state of mind. He was always fucked up. Always. Like, it's crazy. I'm finna go. Peace out.
Peace, Keisha. He was fucked up every day. Yeah, he's not a baby. Not a baby. And what about the family actually knew he went missing in 2015, right? And then, oh, he was found. So if they see him at the place or they don't see him at the place on the blue moon, is what Janie calls it, the blue moon that they would come visit, why would that set off any red flags? Right?
Yeah, it's very odd. Independent thinker gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, love. I appreciate that.
Yay, thank you. Yeah, he's not a, and the Sherry Papini thing, somebody had brought that up. The lady who said she was kidnapped by Hispanic women and branded when she was actually in California with a boyfriend. How many years did that take before the truth came out? That seemed kind of sus. Why would these women take her and not actually whatever, So we just have to wait and see.
Those ants, I still don't know what to think about them, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Nikki O'Shea, I respectfully disagree with you. True crime community believes everything until they don't. No, I think we're the opposite. We don't believe anything until we do. We're all receipts and prove it and facts.
Yeah, and we, like I said, we watched all the bullshit unfold yesterday, and then when the police department today, when he said that the DA will not be pushing any charges, and that what was said yesterday was not,
Entirely truthful.
right. I knew there was a whole stink bomb somewhere around in here. Somebody's, you know what I mean? There's something going on.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I'm sure everything is all coming out, so I'm sure it'll come out in the wash. You know what? And I hope that Rudy, I hope he finds his way. You know what I mean? I hope he doesn't get harassed and fucked with too much now, because and you know what I mean? That's, I worry about that because it's right here in the mainstream,
Yeah.
everyone's
Well,
talking about it now. It's all over the place. So I just hope that he doesn't, bear the bullshit from it, because that's,
well, and before there was that rumor that he was being harassed by motorcycle gang members from the Westboro Baptist Church. So yeah, it's just too weird. It's just, thank you for letting me come up and talk to you about this. I was high as Cooter Brown last night and just going over everything repeatedly. And I was talking to my computer. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, there was a lot of people that messaged me and asked if we were gonna, go over it and watch the press conference and stuff. I'm like, hell yeah, we are.
Yeah, well, like Tina was saying yesterday, there are things like this that just, they kind of, there's a little bit of crack that, hey, look, information. And then every channel is covering it. Even channels that don't cover it, cover it.
Was they? I didn't even get a chance to see. I know Rabbit's. I know Rabbit has been covering it pretty in depth. You know what I mean? She's.
Yeah.
Still, I checked and I didn't get your email. So if you want to resend that picture, yeah, I'll check. I'll keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, Rabbit's been doing she's done some lives on it, but she's also been doing some shorts.
Yeah.
As the information's coming out, she's been doing shorts, so she's been on top of it, and I really appreciate that. But, there are other people that have legitimate, family members that are missing or murdered, and we don't.
Oh, there's tons. I was just looking yesterday. There's so many. There's so many cases. So many cases.
And I've said this before, that we only have a limited bandwidth in our attention, and to try to help and advocate and get something moving for everybody, we can't do that because we don't have the capacity to even wrap our brains around it. But when it comes down to focusing on one person, whether it's Summer Wells or whether it's, Rudy Farias, we
Right.
can do that. I find that kind of sad.
Let's see here. Someone needs to Google. Let's see. Al Sharpton, aka Reverend Sharpton. If you have any questions, just ask. I grew up in that era. Oh man. I know, Cody. Cody Glory. No, I didn't see it, but this whole damn case is giving me a headache. I think, you know what? There's a lot of people that are with you. There's a lot of people that are with you. And honestly, I don't really have too much. Well, you know what I'm saying? I'll probably upload the interview, the press conference, and then leave it at that, because there really is nothing else to cover other than drama with the family, and I don't really care about that. You know what I mean? That's not. I wish the best for him. I hope he, gets therapy if he needs it and stuff like that. But this is a mess. You know what I'm saying? And it just.
Mm-hmm.
Now that the police have said what they needed to say, that's pretty much that. I don't feel like it's gonna help to continue to keep feeding into that bullshit. You know what I mean?
Well,
So,
this is like the Summer Wells case. We're going to interview Fred. We're going to talk to Jody Sue. We're going to talk to
God,
Dudley. We're going to do all of these things around everything, because the actual factual case is, it's quiet. There's nothing to go on. So we're going to talk to Keisha, the neighbor who had him in her garage every day and discovered him. So we're going to talk to the aunties that haven't really seen or talked to him in 8 years. We're going to talk to, whomever. That it's just distraction. It's just distraction, and it's something that, we think, oh, there's an exclusive, like Don Wills being on somebody's channel, that somehow or another that night is the night that he's going to break down and tell the truth, or, he's
right.
going to let something slip. It's the same thing with this situation. We're just going to get all these peripheral people in case we get a nugget of truth.
You say we are, it ain't we, it's they. Well,
right. They, well, okay.
We'll be sitting back watching, talking about it, but
yeah, no,
we'll be much involved.
I say we, because I just consider the whole planet as one entity. The good people and the bad people. I'm sorry. I'll have to change my verbiage, because it is what it is. It's just human nature.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I'll tell you what, I bet the whole, like, there's probably neighbors that are like, oh my God. Because they don't ask for this. They don't know, you know what I mean? And just okay, so if one of my neighbors supposedly had a missing child, and then all of a sudden, there's like news vans and all kinds of, sorry, my bird was in there screaming. There's like news vans and a neighbor saying he was hiding in her, coming to her garage to visit, and I'd be like, what the fuck?
Right. Well, and as neighbors, because we've all seen the interview with the guy from the trailer park, or the lady who says, ain't nobody got time for that.
Right. That's what she reminds me of a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But so the neighbors, they always try to look them out. I mean, even if you didn't know anything, you saw, okay, there's a ton of news vans out there and cop cars and all this other stuff. I don't want to have anything to do with it. You're gonna get somebody knocking on your door saying, "Hey, do you know these people? How long have you lived here?" Da 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 da.
Right. Gina says, I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready for a nap. I smoke too much. Yeah.
Oh, is it time for knitting? I didn't know that.
Yeah, knitting nap. It's time because we've been on here about 2.5 hours, and I got a call I got to get done and at 1:30, and it's 1:10. So
Oh, okay. Well, thank
I
you,
will
baby,
talk to
for
you guys later. Thank you, Grandma Sherry, for coming up and hanging out.
yes, get this off my chest.
I appreciate you, love. And we will, you know what? I'll probably come on here later and we'll talk about some other stuff because there's still a lot of other stuff to chat about. So,
Ooh, sunflower. Let's talk about sunflowers.
okay.
Or not.
I love you.
I love you too. I'll see you later.
Bye, baby. Bye, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. And I appreciate you guys. Thanks for your input, your opinions. And, I love it. Even if we don't agree, I still love that you guys come in here and chit chat and, give your opinions. Brianna, thank you so much for coming up. And Ellie, Cappy, and anybody else that came up to share or, tell me your thoughts and opinions and stuff. I appreciate it. I will check in back and I'll try to pop back on later tonight so we can chit chat about some other stuff because there's other stuff going on too that, what's this be happy? The budget was regarding the question from media, why aren't there cameras in all cars? The chief said, let me address that topic before we answer questions about Rudy. That made it confusing. Yeah, it made it confusing for a lot of people, honestly, and it was very tacky. I don't think they should have even addressed that question or, you know what I'm saying, put that together. Or maybe, talked about it when it was all the way done. But I mean, he talked about it throughout the entire course of the press conference, which was really tacky. I guess that's in my opinion. I don't know. Sometimes people think it's not, and that's okay. Maybe it's just me. But anyhow, I appreciate y'all. Have a good afternoon, and I will talk to you guys later.